Welcome to the first video in this video editing tutorial. If you want to learn how to edit videos, the primary tool you're gonna need is some video editing software. And there are a lot of choices out there. In this video series I'm gonna show you how I edit my daily vlog videos. And if you want to follow along with editing and try it yourself, in some videos I have some practicing materials that you can download, so you can follow along. So like I said, there's a lot of different options out there, and I'm gonna take you through some of the main options, and I'm gonna tell you why I use the software that I use. Some software is free, some software is paid. They all have their own pros and cons. As a beginning editor, you shouldn't make it too complicated for yourself. But you should also have software that can maybe take you a little bit further down the road if you want to do some more advanced stuff. One thing to keep in mind is as soon as you get used to a certain software, it's going to be a little bit harder and a bigger learning curve to move to a different software because you're used to making the videos in a certain kind of software. But also in the beginning, you don't want to be overwhelmed with the amount of options. So one of the most known editing software is Adobe Premiere. The biggest drawback here is that it has a monthly fee that is kind of high. It does have a lot of options and a lot of AI stuff that is integrated into the video editing software, what you all get for this monthly subscription. But for beginning video editors it can be a little bit overwhelming, and also the price setting is quite steep for this software. Then one of the big competitors of Adobe is DaVinci Resolve. DaVinci Resolve is a free software, the basic version. I believe when you buy one of their products, hardware products, you get the full or an extended version. But a lot of known video editors work with DaVinci Resolve. The DaVinci software is like the Adobe software. It's a little bit harder to work with. It's a little bit more complicated, but you can also do more stuff with it. And in the beginning, DaVinci Resolve and also Premiere can be a little bit overwhelming to start working with. Using DaVinci Resolve for our videos is not an option because it doesn't work with our security cam footage. So something to also keep into account is with these kind of software, if you work with other people together, for instance, some software it's very hard to share the project files. I know this, for instance, from DaVinci Resolve. It's very difficult there to, for instance, share a file with the project from DaVinci Resolve. Then a more suitable software to start with would be CapCut. CapCut is a very basic, straightforward video editing software. It's also free, but they have a lot of add-ons that can cost money. I think they also have a pro version. But the basic version here is free to start with, and this would be a good alternative to use. An alternative to the video editor that I use mostly, and this is Filmora. Filmora asks a yearly fee of 60 or 70 euros, so it's quite doable. And CapCut and Filmora look a lot alike. They are developed by the same team. But basically all video editors look a little bit the same. It's only the question where you find certain functions and if certain functions are integrated in this specific editor. So if we, for instance, look at Filmora, this has sort of a basic setup for video editors. You have a part here on the left what imports the footage. You have a part in the middle where you can view the footage. A part on the right with some specifications and adjustments. And in the bottom, for like with every video editor, you have the timeline. This is mostly where all the action happens, where you're working the most, and then viewing the footage in the preview screen. Now, like I said, most video editors can do the same things, like basic cutting clips and adjusting the volume and putting in transitions, putting in audio. All video editors can do this basic stuff. but it's more where the advanced stuff comes in, that you need to be, that you can have limitations in the software you picked. I used to edit my videos way in the beginning with Windows Movie Maker. And at that point it did everything that I needed, like cut clips and like do transitions and put in a bit of music. And at that point, for me, that was fine. But one of the things that software, for instance, couldn't work with is like keyframes. Let me quickly explain to you what are keyframes. So here is some footage of me taking down some light. Now what you can do is you can zoom the footage in. So on the right here you have the video attributes, and then you can, for instance, scale the footage. And a keyframe means that you can move the footage from a certain point along a timeline. So let me show you. Here I set up a keyframe when the zoom is the scale is at 92. And then, for instance, I set here a keyframe where the zoom is a lot more. Then you see here on the timeline you have two of these keyframe thingies. And then it will move between, on the timeline between these 2 points. And this goes basically for all kind of stuff, also for the positioning of the image. So if you want to go up and down or left or right, or if you want to increase audio or decrease audio. And if you're looking for a video editing software as a beginner, I would suggest that you use software that can also use keyframes. Because as soon as you get a little bit more advanced in editing, this is one of the first things you're gonna want to use. My recommendation would be to start somewhere easy, like with CapCut or Filmora. Editing is sort of hard enough to begin with to learn it, and you really don't want to get lost in all these functions that you're not going to use for the foreseeable future. So Filmora has a free version to start with. It leaves a watermark as soon as you export the video, but you can use all the functions that are in there. There are also some extra paid functions, but I don't really use them. So see what kind of software you want to use. If you don't have any idea, I would suggest you start with Filmora, because also in the next videos in this series you'll see me editing the videos with Filmora, what makes it a little bit easier to follow along. In the next video we're going to go into the basic project settings I use for my project, and we're gonna do some basic cutting to get a nice story, a nice flow in the video.